The air guitar game is very good, Bernie. For a Friday. Good for you.
Yeah. I think air guitar is important, in your everyday life, right?
Yes. You always need it. I'm usually drums.
Yeah.
The kids love to air drum in the car.
You're teaching them right.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
So we have come across this woman who we just end up having such great conversations about different things, about the afterlife and, maybe people who are still around and relatives who are still there, sort of like the guardian angels. Allyson Glynn Schram. She joins us on the phone. We've talked to her a few times, and we're excited to welcome her back onto Acadiana's Morning News. Good morning to you.
Well, Rob, I want to tell you, you've done it again. Congratulations. This is all your fault.
Oh.
Everything that is happening right now with the water that is going to be falling from the sky, we can thank Rob at KPEL.
Why? Why is this my fault?
Listen to this.
Okay.
Listen to this, Nostradamus. Do you remember when you said to me back in February, oh, is all of this the Mercury retrograde thing? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, not really. Well, I stand to be corrected. We had, and I know this is not what we're going to talk about, but I just want to talk about the weather for a moment, as though we, can't talk about the weather. We cannot talk about, right now I'm in Gulf Shores, Alabama, okay? So anywhere along the Gulf Coast, anywhere, you have to talk about the weather. So here's the thing. We had, in 2020, we have a total of 6 eclipses.
Wow.
In an average year, you only have 4, okay? Uh-huh. You can have as many as 7, but this year we had 6. And eclipses bring what is in the darkness into the light, okay? And you asked about Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
Well, Mercury, the sun was retrograde with Mercury at one point during this previous 6 months, and it was and I subscribe to Vedic astrology, which is separate from Western, but the nakshatra is just like the United States, how the United States is a piece of, say the universe is a piece of property and it's divided into states.
Right.
Okay, it would be called a nakshatra. So the sun and the sun retrograde with Mercury in the nakshatra of Ardra, and Ardra is the nakshatra of tragedy. And so everything that has been going on, which rolls all up into your famous question that we started from day one, is this because of Mercury retrograde? And I have to say, absolutely, because in the past 90 days, we've had 3 eclipses in 90 days. The last one having been, we had a lunar eclipse actually in July. But the thing is that they've all been Gandanta, and Gandanta literally means flooding. Whoa. And I have received on my Facebook page, I've received messages from people saying, you predicted this. And I'm terrible at keeping any kind of track of what I said or when I said it.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to go to my Facebook and search.
Okay.
But we have had planets in the tail of the scorpion in Scorpio, Gandanta, which is about flooding. And I know that I talked a whole lot about everybody in Acadiana, get your rain boots, put life jackets on your children. If you're going to go to the mailbox, make sure you can paddle out there. If you have to feed horses, wear a life jacket, even if there's no water around, because we've got some flooding coming.
Well, now we have 2 storms that are, heading towards the Gulf Coast, all the way from Texas to Florida.
And that's what I'm saying is that it's been Gandanta this entire year. It's been 29 degrees of whatever. If you look at how many planets have been located, whatever sign they were in, they were at 29 degrees. And 29 degrees is the tail, it's the end and of whatever it's going through, whatever sign it's going through, and that is called Gandanta. And that means flooding.
This is fascinating.
So this is what we have going on right now. And I know that today we've talked about taking colors, and I'm all about that. We can do that. But I just had to, give you credit where credit was due. And, thank you for predicting all of this tragedy,
Well, and people keep saying it's like 2020 is the worst. I mean, whenever you just have something, even if it's not good, then all of a sudden, 2 days later, you get news that it was actually worse than you thought it was.
Yeah.
And people are just like, 2020, So can we hope that this ends with the calendar year? I mean, what do you think?
No, so I don't, we all chose, I believe that we choose our parents. I believe we choose what we're showing up to learn. I believe we choose our journey. And we've come to this earth at such intense times, right? I mean, there's so much pain, there's so much anger, there's so much turmoil. It's just a time that I believe that we're purging energy imprints of long ago, just everything that we need to let go of, get rid of, heal from, and we're just kind of cleaning some stuff up and starting over.
Wow.
That's really what I believe, and I think that in 2021, I honestly believe it will be easier, but I still think that we will be feeling the pain of what we came to understand as 2020. But 2022, so much better. So much better. But 2021, don't plan on, getting back to normal. I just, as a matter of fact, this morning when I woke up to do the show, I had been dreaming. I was trying to sell my home in Arnaville, and the roof was leaking. And I walked in, all of a sudden, I never had a leaky roof, and I couldn't understand why there were puddles of water everywhere. And messages, we all get messages, whether they're in our sleep, we all go to sleep, we all log into the same consciousness, and we all have dreams and messages, and we just need to take notice, not only of what's happening or the messages that come to us in our sleep and at our dream state, but also during the day. And that's what I woke up to this morning, with a leaky roof in Arnaville and a home I no longer own. So,
wow. Gosh.
So, Allyson, there is something that's been on my mind since I've known we were going to be talking to you, and I told Bernie about it, and she was like, I almost feel like she didn't tell me, but maybe she was kind of thinking along the same lines too. But I wanted to just ask your opinion or what you think. I keep things where it's, there is something that I always have on me. If it's not on my person, it's in my desk or it's in my backpack when I'm traveling, and it is a gold belt buckle that was my grandpa's. And there's something about it that just always makes him feel close to me whenever I have it, whether it's a big meeting I have or, an interview. I mean, just so many different things. It just provides a source of strength. Is it all in my head, or is that strength really there?
No, it's really there. There are people who have that gift. I know I've taken classes, and when you can hold something and you can get a download of the person's energy, what they looked like, characteristics. There are people who actually have that gift. I don't think that I have that gift. But definitely there are imprints or energy imprints with everything. Everything is energy, right? Mm-hmm. And so just the vibration, if that connects you to him in any way, then it works.
Yeah.
So yes, it's true. Absolutely. I believe furniture holds imprints. I've had people tell me, they've picked up, this is one reason, I'm all about popping tags at, thrift shops, but I'm not so sure that I want to walk in other people's shoes, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm not so sure that I want to sleep in used mattresses. I definitely know. I'm a trained Hilton and Marriott manager. I've opened 2 different Hilton properties, and I could walk into the hotel room. I went through 6 weeks of housekeeping training when I first started with Hilton, and realized I could read the energy imprint on the bed from the night before. And I could walk into the hotel room. I went through 6 weeks of housekeeping training when I first started with Hilton, and realized I could read the energy imprint on the bed from the night before. And I could walk into the hotel room. I went through 6 weeks of housekeeping training when I first started with Hilton, and realized I could read the energy imprint on the bed After we make the bed and change the linens, it's gone. I can't. But I do know that what you have and what you hold on to carries energy of the past. And if you ever listen to me on Facebook, I often talk about we need to rethink those one night stands, because it's not just about intimacy.
Yes.
It's about the, whatever craziness that they bring with them, right? When you pull them into your energy.
Whoa.
Like, this is not just
So be careful who you let into your orbit,
Like,
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. My goodness.
So do you think you could tell
yeah.
when you went into these hotel rooms, do you think you could tell without knowing who was in it, if it was a one-night stand, if it was a couple married for 50 years? You could?
Absolutely. And it has nothing to do with anything hanging from the, light fixtures
just the energy.
Or any, it's absolutely the energy. Absolutely. I could tell if there was a peaceful night's sleep, if it wasn't, if they were just in and out, no thinking, just solid rest, if there was tossing and turning or any kind of depression. Like, people would think that I'm extremely outgoing, and I am. But I also am somewhat of a loner. I believe I've had a monastic lifestyle in other lifetimes because I really like to kind of duck and cover. And speaking of duck and cover, this is a great segue into what my advice is right now for people about what is coming for the rest of 2020, okay? And I know, and I hope there's time for us to take calls. But
people can call if they want to, 232-1542, 232-1542. Okay, go ahead, Allyson.
I just want everyone to start getting prepared now. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't take in what's happening. I don't spend a lot of time on social media. I don't spend any time in the news unless it's Jim Cantore because he's hot. And, I'm all over that. But I really don't. And what I'm saying is that everyone needs to come up with a plan. This is just like preparing we did for, the toilet paper run, like the pandemic, except I really believe that we need to be thinking about evacuating because of the flooding, the ground flooding. And I believe that, we're all, like serious flooding.
It's funny because yesterday I was reading on someone's Facebook post. So, sometimes you just scroll around, see what's happening with people. And this gentleman was talking about that he and his father, years ago had been told it was a conversation about snakes, and that he and his father had been told by a traitor that when you see a lot of snakes around, that water is coming. And there was, he said he doesn't remember the whole explanation about it, but that when you see a lot of snakes out, that water is coming. And I thought when you started that with the water this morning, I was like, wow, okay, that's kind of interesting too,
My gosh.
from that standpoint. Allyson, do you get exhausted just by, I don't know, being around people, listening to people? I mean, even the tone of our voices, does it light you up? Does it make you feel exhausted?
You know what? I don't want to, and not that you're asking me this, but I hate hearing, energy workers say that because I don't want to play the victim card. I truly believe that I volunteered for this. I know that I retreat a lot, and I don't want to say, and there are times that I say I'm just exhausted, but it can be emotionally. But I probably, if I was a prosecutor, I could make a really good case that my own life, I've got enough emotional turmoil that am I exhausted because I'm all caught up in what is personally happening and those that are closest to me? Yeah, I'm going to answer this way. Yes, but I don't know if it's everybody else's fault. It's like. Yeah. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, and the answer is yeah, I absolutely know, or I'll see, and people, I can right now hear people who are listening say, oh, well, she needs to be able to turn it off. Oh, listen, I would also like to be able to walk on water, but right now I'm not doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
All right.
It's, yeah.
Allyson Schram joins us on the phone. We're going to take a quick break. Our number is 232-1542. If you want to ask a question, maybe you've had something that's been sort of nagging on you. The last time we talked about the Cardinals and how Allyson said, well, yeah, that's a thing. There are symbols all over the place. If you have a question, 232-1542. We're going to take a quick break here and continue with Allyson Schram coming up after a quick break. Stay with us.
Implicit bias. We've all got it. Many hurl the term as an insult. I take it as a compliment. I'm Kavan Bordelon, and I like being a Catholic, conservative, fun-loving guy. So let's talk about that and everything surrounding those ideals. 11 a.m. Saturdays, Implicit Bias on News Talk 9.
I'm telling you, this song, it just puts me right in the middle of an Austin Powers movie, and it's just like Rob coming through a beaded curtain.
The Age of Aquarius
Good morning.
does for you. Yeah, right?
You should get that sound. Whatever. You know that sound of the beaded curtain?
Yes.
Go through
it? That's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a beaded curtain and put it on the studio door for you.
Oh, my gosh. Would Moon freak out if he came in on a Monday and we had lava lamps and a beaded curtain? Oh, my gosh. I hope he's not listening right now.
Yeah, I hope he's out like fishing and he can't hear anything. Yeah, that would be hilarious. So, Allyson Glynn Schram is joining us. We've been talking about her being a medium, and the different things that she experiences. So, Allyson, I'm curious, when you speak to people and there is something that they need to know, but maybe it's not such positive or great news, how do you share that with somebody? Or do you even?
Yes, I do. And I share it from my heart. And I share it as empathetically as I possibly can. But I don't subscribe to lower energies. I'm not into anything. For me, it's all about, I surround myself in the white light of the Holy Spirit, anything of God from God. So I'm a born-again Christian that believes that God gave me this ability. And so you're not going to get into woo-woo with me, not like, well, I guess this is woo-woo, but it's not negative. It's not darker energy.
Right.
I don't do any of that. I'm not a witch. I don't read tarot. I love tarot, and I endorse it, but I just don't use those cards.
Right.
So this is just a sense of knowing and going within. Listen, I want to ask that when we take a call, I'd like for them to say their first name and their month and their day of birth. Do not give me the year. I don't have to have it, but I do want to know first names. Now, I want to tell you, we just took a break, and I sat in silence, and you guys were doing your own thing. I was on hold, and I work with my eyes closed. Now, I understand this is morning radio, and you don't have to be a psychic. I can hear people saying this, but I saw a lot of clutching of steering wheels. So what I'm going to tell you is thank you for all of those who are in your vehicle right now listening. And I saw the state of Texas, so I know that you've got a lot of listeners tuning in today from Texas.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, yeah, we both have a lot of relatives that live there and listen. So that part, you're like, yep, there's a whole bunch of people on that end,
So, Allyson.
Well, I believe it's like up and down, Lake Charles, going in and out of East Texas. I don't know how far your whatever works.
Reaches. So we did have someone call. They weren't able to stay on the phone. Her name was Allie. She didn't give her age. We didn't know that's what you needed, but her name was Allie. She called in and said, she's really just worried about her mom. Her mom passed away, long illness, and she's having trouble kind of dealing with it at this point.
Yeah.
So the first thing is I'm seeing some major organ difficulties, like what took her mom's life. A lot of times Spirit will show me, but I even want to talk about the pancreas or the liver. There's major organs. This is not a cardiac passing. This is not this, and her. It's it's kind of difficult because she's not here to validate. It makes it more difficult. But I also see in a ring, and I do want to talk about the undercarriage of her vehicle. So I don't know if she was driving at the time or what, but I'm seeing underneath the vehicle. But I would tell her, and February would be really strongly connected to Allie. If there isn't a caller, is there someone in the studio that I could read for?
Well,
it's just us two right now. It's the pandemic. We don't have a big old
they won't let
staff right now.
People come in.
Oh, I gotcha.
But
okay.
So if you want to, we're both open.
We're wide open.
We're wide open. Because we're curious. That's kind of the reason I asked you about the bad news, because I'm like, what if it is bad news about something?
Yeah.
Well, and it makes it even, normally if it's just the two of us, then yeah, I'll share with you what I'm seeing. But this is just the opposite of what I was saying that I don't do, and now it's going to seem as though I do it. Do either of you have a really creepy doll? DOLL?
I do.
Like what?
Okay,
what's
that's
up
so
with that
hilarious.
creepy?
That is so hilarious. Because it's a running joke in my family.
What's up with that?
It looks strange because it was restored because it belonged to my grandmother, and the hands and arms of the doll look strange. Oh my, that's hilarious. I can tell you that my family that's listening right now, somebody probably just fell off of a chair killing themselves laughing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there is really something about the energy imprint of that doll. There really, really, really is. But it's not the hand. It's from the eyes and the upper chest.
Okay. I totally get that too. Because I'm going to tell you, it's always the hands and the eyes that people talk about with that doll. That's hilarious. Oh, my God.
So are you having anything like do you have – now, listen, just your personality, I would say the answer is yes, absolutely, which is do you have trouble finding things? But are you having things that go missing or like picked up and found in really weird places in the house?
Yeah. Okay, now you're really creeping me out.
Okay, because like for instance, are you finding like I'm just going to use this as an example because this really happened to me. Like your stapler goes missing off your desk and you're in
our stapler is gone from this room right now. We haven't stapled in days because I don't know where our stapler is.
It is gone.
Someone put it in a closet.
Okay.
This is hilariously amazing.
Now we know where to go. I'm telling you, our stapler has been gone, and I've had
like
stacks of paper everywhere. Oh my God.
That's
okay. Okay. Well, I'm sitting here kind of like, I know it's radio and we're supposed to keep talking, but I'm sitting here kind of like, gasping also.
Okay.
But so y'all got some. Okay, I'm a Southern girl. I got to clean this up. So let me think of how to say. Y'all got some stuff going on. But seriously, Blake, there is something for real about that doll and a cake with icing, like cake icing, birthday cake, was it? I don't know. But
my birthday is on Monday.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to make a suggestion. I want you, I'm sure that someone is going to have you a birthday cake. I'm certain of it. I want you to pull the doll out.
Okay.
And sit the doll on the table near the cake.
Okay.
I don't know why, other than I feel like it's going to bring you good luck, or that it's going to, it's like channeling love into the cake. Or it's going to see that you have just a lot of very lovable, loving, good stuff come your protection almost. Protection. And this is exactly what I said I don't do. But I guess I do. But I mean, I don't go into this thinking, let me come up with something that's completely crazy.
Right.
But I'm letting you know. And then what is significant about the month of November for you?
Oh,
or
God.
for either of you?
November
it's hard month for you.
Is me. It's me. Yeah. That's November has always been. I like to say now, I decided last year in November that I was going to skip November from now on. It's been a lifelong theme, and so I'm just going to have 2 Decembers this year. So that's for me. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this carries over from previous lives, and you need to step into it and face it, and in order not to repeat this. This is going to be a repeating pattern for you. Whatever the hurt and disappointment and tenderness and the bruised heart and the tears are healing. The DNA of the tear is the exact same DNA of a scab. So when you look at it under a microscope, Bernie, instead of saying, I'm going to turn my back, you need to step into it just step into it and bust through it. You don't have to be aggressive. You just need to step into it and say, I'm going to work successfully through this November so that it won't be. But what about specifically the 11th or the 11th?
Come on. Jesus. Allison, that's a big day, especially in November. And I'm just gonna for repeated purposes. It's
and
a
are
3.
you okay? What did you say? Did you say it's a theme or did you say it's a 3?
A 3, because it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what you mean by that.
Basically, on that day of November, 3 major things.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, now I want to tell you that you're a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if your father is still here or if he has passed, but
he passed on the 11th of November.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so your dad is here, and he's wanting to tell you that you're a daddy's girl. And do you know who the AL name would be?
Yes.
Okay, so we want to bring through that name also. I don't know if they're initials or if I believe it's a name, a first name, I think.
It's a first name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But please know that your dad is so proud of you. And does someone have a combine or some type of piece of farm equipment that turns or tills the ground? Or I'm seeing his feet, and he seems like, or I'm seeing men's feet, and they're like longer legs. I'm only seeing from the knees down, but I believe these are longer legs. But we're outdoor, and we're kind of like scanning. We're looking at the property, looking at the land, and we're anticipating or we're thinking about what we're going to do with the land.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to think on that part. I kind of have an idea, but I'm not sure. Okay. God,
all right.
That's fascinating.
So please know that he walks beside you, and he's putting thought into, I feel like he's holding a cup of coffee, and he's standing out looking at the property or looking at the land and anticipating what we're going to do with the land.
Wow, that's huge.
Allison, we do have someone on the phone
waiting now.
on line 1.
Okay.
Good morning. You're on Acadiana's Morning News. That's you. You're on the line with Allyson Schram. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah,
and remember, give your first name and your age if you could.
If you could.
This is Catherine. Is it me?
Hi,
Yes.
Catherine. Yes, good morning.
Hey, my name is Catherine, and May 5th is my birthday.
Okay.
So first thing, Catherine, you're strongly connected to your mother or your grandmother. Do you understand that? Especially the older lady.
Yes.
Did you say yes? Okay, it's mother or grandmother. I'm not sure which, but
Mother.
Okay, all right. And I feel as though that she is concerned right now about the water. So this would be groundwater, I feel like, or she's wanting to talk about the flooding or the water. Do you understand that? So this would be like either where you are, there's going to be, or the garden hose, watering, something with water.
Well, I've been watering my garden lately. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. And then you've had someone who passed that was cremated. Do you know the ashes she's talking about? Or something something like ashes that are being sprinkled or that were sprinkled. Okay. All right. Now listen, I am a psychic, okay? So this could be something that's coming up. And then I also want to talk about H. And I feel like it's male energy with the H name. And first, middle, or last name. And let's see. Okay, Catherine, and you were born. Listen, let me tell you something. You were designed to win. Like, you were designed to be sort of a silent leader type. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, so that is who you are. You're a very strong woman, and you come from strong women, but they're not aggressive strong women like that would return fire. They're okay. This is they're more like mean strong women. Like they could return fire, but it's going to be from the brain or from the heart. It's not going to be with a weapon. Like they are going to outthink you. They're silent thinkers. Do you understand that?
I sure do. That really is true, yes.
Okay. So that's what your mom is wanting. And Caroline or Carolina or Carolyn, who is that? Carol?
I have a sister-in-law by that name.
Okay. All right. So please know that she's acknowledging that side of the family or them. And so is she married? And now I heard Alexa or something like Alexa or Alexa, but E-L, I think it's an E name. But
well, she has an Alex in her family.
Your sister-in-law does?
Right.
Okay. So and then Tommy, Tommy.
I know a Tommy. He's a husband of a friend of mine.
Okay, I don't know. But so I want to stick with family, but I want you to know that your mom is concerned about the relationship between so your brother, is he not working right now?
I do, well, let's see. I have several who are
okay, who's married to Carol? Who's married to Carolyn or Carol?
Yes, he's not working. Her husband is not working.
Yes, right. Okay, she's concerned about him and them and the disconnect or the disarray or things are not going as smoothly as your mother would like. And I don't mean in the marriage. I just mean for them. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
It's not like that you need to reach out to them or you need to help them or you need to be an encourager. Don't be combative and don't be judgmental, but just understand that you're working with some really tender, broken feelings there, okay?
Yeah, I know that. Yes, that's true.
Well,
okay, and please know that your mom walks beside you.
Good, Catherine. Thanks so much for the call.
Thanks, Catherine.
It's so fascinating, Allyson, to hear from you, and I think there are probably people who at first were listening and saying like
nervous, and then
but once you kind of start to tie those things together, I mean, of course there will be people that just say they don't believe, and I'm sure you deal with that all the time.
I actually don't.
Oh, really?
I really don't.
Okay.
I don't. When I was younger, I was prepared, but I just think that people look at me and they know that, you know, if you're sitting in front of me, I put on a blindfold. I don't read your face. You know, it's through the vibration of your voice. It's a heart connection. If you come to me as a total jackass and closed off, then I probably will immediately realize we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And because you're shut down, and I'll dismiss that energy. I'll dismiss you, you know, whoever it is, because you're like, don't come in here to waste my time or yours. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I do want to, Allyson, we're running a little bit short on time. We have about 3 minutes left. I want to just get one more caller in, and then we'll have to do this again.
Okay.
Good morning. You're on a KDNS Morning News. If you could turn your phone down, or turn your radio down, please, and we can get your first name and your birth date.
My name is Ava, and my birthday is May 17th.
Boy, Ava, you signed up for your share of challenges this life cycle, didn't you, sweet girl? Like extreme broken heart, extreme loss, people separating. Do you have a father that's in spirit, or is your father quite distanced from you? Because there's a male that just broke you. There's broken heart energy here. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So please know that you have angels, honey, that are surrounding you. I want to encourage you. I want you to know that. Oh, and there's a veteran here also. Who served in the military? Okay, I feel like I'm
my great grandpa.
Your grandfather?
Okay, I feel like saying papa or papa. I think it's kind of like French, but I just want you to know that you do, and you have a ton of first cousins on the other side, or you have a lot of extended, not brothers and sisters, but family members, young family members that have passed. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, please know that and is there an Edward or Ed or ED? Eddie? I'm giving the name. Okay, who is that?
My great grandma.
Okay, and was she married to the veteran?
Yes.
Okay. So please know that I don't know how close you were to them, but they are so happy to be here. They love you so much, and they walk beside you. So I don't know where your grandparents are or where your parents are, and that's okay. You don't have to tell me. But what's important that you know is that your great grandparents, they're happy, loving, fun, bubbly people. Did you know them?
Did you know me? Yes, I knew this about my great grandma. I never met my great grandpa.
Okay. Please know they are just happy people. So if that's not what you're feeling, they bring you joy, okay? I want you to sit and just kind of focus on them and tap into their energy, because you need to be pumped up with enthusiasm and joy, and just know that you are truly loved, okay? And also the last thing I'm going to tell you is this too shall pass. And I know you're going through a really painful, difficult, hurtful time, but I feel like that Ethel is telling me that you'll get through it. Okay.
Hey,
and
Ava.
are there
Do you
ahead.
have anything about Sam?
I don't right now, but what I'm going to tell you, there are two little girls. Where are the two little girls? Are you one of two?
What?
Are you one of two? Or do you have two? Okay. So are
No,
there?
right, no.
I think we might be having a little bit of a connection
right
issue.
now, right now,
Okay. Rob, just tell her that I'm picking up on the energy of two little girls that her grandmother wants to acknowledge.
Okay, Ava, thanks for the call. I'm sure you heard her there. We appreciate it.
She has two daughters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has two daughters.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of connection.
All right,
We have to
thank
leave it
you.
there for time.
Yeah, because we're running out of time.
Let's do this
Thank you,
again.
Ava.
Allyson Schram, we'll get you on our calendar again.
Yes.
And next time we'll jump straight in
To the
to
calls.
taking some calls and doing some of these, because I think it's fascinating, some of these things that come up, especially in Bernie's situation with the November 11th.
Yeah, you kind of blew my mind away on all of those things. Boom, 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 back to back.
Yeah.
You're kind of freaking me out, and we'll get to it right
Bernie,
away.
Listen, just don't forget to put the baby doll near the birthday cake.
Okay.
I can do that. Okay, I can definitely do that.
All right. All right. All my love, guys.
You too.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thanks.